Hey guys, y'all excuse me if I'm filthy. I've been mowing down at the park all day and very dirty. I ate dirt all day long. But I finally made it to the house. The day's done. It's time for a cold one. But before I do, I just wanted to kind of walk around here in my yard a little bit and give you guys my home update. So let's check it out. So I thought I'd start with my little grapevine. I don't see any grapes yet, but it's getting so dadgum tall. It's about to get up here now. The good thing is, let's see if I can look a little closer. The good thing is it's healthy and it's spreading out. I know it looks a little jaundiced and yellow, but it's all right. We'll give it what it needs. Good thing is though, is that I can just detach it up here where I've just kind of hooked it up to that and run something across over here. Maybe make me a little arch or something. But once it gets full, it'll be great, and then I can steal some more off of it. Now, let's get a little more serious. Let's come over here. So my booby trap here, my grandson and wife put for me. Got all these sunflowers where I got to be careful walking in here. The volunteer, another volunteer in the green beans. They're doing okay. These old onions going to seed still, fluffing out pretty darn good, but it's cool. This thing's getting the rest, and then you'll see my potatoes are starting to yellow under there, getting a little bit of yellow and thinning out. So won't be long now. Getting closer. My russets have come up just a little bit, and all of these are doing good in their little containers. My green beans. And another volunteer. Who knows what it is. Look by my foot, almost stepped on one. Here's my Israeli melon. Those guys looking good. I'm seeing lots of blooms. That's a good sign. How many do I have down in here? One. This one hasn't really took off all the way yet. But so I've got one doing most of the damage here. Looks like I've got some ants in there. This dang lettuce is still thriving over here, even though it's been pulled up and thrown over here as compost. All right, you can see all my lettuce is gone to seed and going. So I'll be able to harvest some seeds off those guys. My wife's passion vine's outgrowing everything. I've got another little yellowed up. I guess maybe need to add some nitrogen over here because everything's pretty darn yellow and it's been that way. I'm just being lazy. This is the last time, the last month here, I'm gonna guess, where you can look down this fence line and see roses, because the elephant ears are fixing to go ahead and take all the way over. I mean, they will swallow everything. I brought this grapevine home. I pulled it off towards Fredericksburg when my number 9 grandbaby was born. And I pushed it into the ground that night and I didn't get to it for 2 days. Now when I came back and I started chopping it into pieces to propagate it, it was still green and alive and looked well. So I soaked them in water for about 10 or 15 minutes and then I put some rooting hormone on them. I left them about anywhere from 3 to 4 nodules on the stick, you know what I mean? So 1, 2, that means there's 2 more below for sure. So this is what they did last time too, except for I had green on there because I got it in there faster. So I'm not gonna let this deter me. I'm gonna leave it alone and let time do its thing and see if in about 2 months if these guys don't wake up. If not, hey, what did I lose? I cut it off of a fence line over on Fredericksburg Highway. Okay, and these carrots, they're still surviving. And nothing's doing anything. Look at these guys. Now, my wife likes these little caterpillars. Let me see. They eat up her passion vine, but they serve some purpose, and I can't remember what it is. They make some pretty butterflies. And I'm about done with all these dadgum bugs, but they're starting pretty early this year. But they like her passion flowers. They have some kind of a symbiotic relationship. Don't get me lying. So guys, I'm not going in there. I got a little bit of corn coming up. Just, you know, whatever happens, happens. My peppers are finally starting to get a little bit of green to them. I'm going to put another application of fertilizer, and I hate doing that. I mean, I just detest it. I want this stuff to grow natural, but it's just gonna need some help. But they look like they're coming out of it. Maybe my dog's fertilizing it. I believe urine has a lot of nitrogen in it, so the urea. So thanks a lot, Squirt. I really appreciate that a lot. That's gonna be a delicious jalapeno. Anywho, so peppers to be continued. When something starts happening there, I'll focus in and show you guys a little bit. Before I go in, figured I'd show you my little yellow pear that I planted down there is growing up pretty good. We've got some little maters all over the place. They'll be yellow in a minute, and they've came on up about 4 foot on this trellis. I'm weaving it in and out of it as it goes up, so that's pretty cool. Be able to eat some little snacks as we go. Now, I planted some of those volunteers that my grandson had helped me dig up. I have no idea what they are. I have a feeling a bunch of them may be those, I can't remember what they're, blueberry tomatoes. They turn kind of a dark purple black color at first, and then they kind of go all the way back to an orangey red. And I saw this the other day. I bought my wife a stacker for Mother's Day. It's a little early, about 5-tier stacker, and she planted some flowers in it, and they look pretty. But while I was there, I seen this giant Marconi, and since I lost a sweet heat over there in my pepper bin, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring this guy and get a head start. We'll have some sweet without the heat, but we'll check them out. It'll be the first time I've grown them. Onions doing okay, little cabbage, same old stuff. Okay, my dill's fuzzed out good. A little bit of carrots back there, I aren't gonna do anything. Look, I don't know if it's growing like that or something's munching. I guess it's growing. But my little citrus tree is growing, and I need to give them some more fertilizer. Tomato plant's doing okay. Onions about done. This citrus is spreading out a little towards the end too. Things doing okay there, looking nice. You can see the difference now. Out there where I've got that stuff growing wild, man, it just fuzzes out. And here I can see what I got. There isn't as much, I guess, feeding. That's why I'm cut off all my suckers, and that's where all that other stuff's growing out there. But if I let this stuff grow, can you see though, there's just not room. I won't be able to keep up with it and run it up. And the other thing is this stuff in here, I may take it all the way to November and run it up the stream and cross over across like I did last year. I had 20-foot long tomato vines. I'm not gonna do that out there. When it gets hot or they stop growing or something happens, I'm cutting them down and I'm growing some different stuff. I've just kind of been enjoying myself. So I've got two different things. Man, that dadgum onion back there, that doesn't look like it to y'all. To me, that's a big onion. I did pretty good on the onions. You can see the strawberry leaves all puffy and fat and beautiful. I'm sure that, look, this is who eats my strawberries. If Asen doesn't do it, it's these guys. So you got to catch them quick when they turn red if you want them, because the dadgum roly-polies like them too. So that's, I like to let it have a little more, but they'll eat it if I do. So we'll just pop that guy off. Still one for me, one for the team. But so stuff's about the same. Let's check something else out. All right, so another volunteer. Who knows? The baby pomegranate and my Egyptian spinach here. Did y'all see it out there at that other greenhouse? If you've watched my other update for the secret garden, they were about this size when I put them in there. These are just taking their sweet time, and dad burn. That one out there, I mean, it's obviously loving its environment. It's growing. This pomegranate's okay. I don't see any flowers. That fig's doing okay. Another volunteer down there. Not sure which one's gonna be. You can see my China Jade cucumbers are finally filling out enough. A little bit longer and I'll start to be able to weave it through there, but I'm tickled because I see some blooms. I have never had any of these. And right here, these are birdhouse gourds. I planted those seeds they took a long time to germinate. But they're finally coming up, and I'm probably gonna have to put another trellis right here and just come across to this other side. Something for them to grow up so they don't interfere with the cucumbers. On this side, I have a little bit of cantaloupe, I believe. That's what I got right here. So this thing at some point in the next month or two, it's gonna start filling in. Maybe I'll get this whole trellis filled in, that'd be nice. See all those onions, look like a bunch of baseballs laying there. Mexican squash, filling out. These guys, got lots of flowers, lots of little tomatoes making here. They're doing okay. Nothing wrong. They're not, if I would leave stuff alone like out there, then I'd probably have 50 suckers and a bunch of stuff, but you know, I'm not complaining. All right, and these green beans, I actually have green beans on them. All right, so my first green beans are coming. Good. About time. I need some. Hopefully some more of them will pop up in the next couple of days, because I've planted all through here in the big gaps. There should be green beans on both sides all the way down. And I don't know if it's the bugs or what happened, but that's all that came up. So I have repeated my planting. Got a little bit of strawberries hiding in there. Need to get in there and clean them out before the bugs get them. You see the asparagus doing just fine over there. Can't wait till next year where I can really raid that stuff. And here's my broccoli. I mean, I'm right there, man. Some of those guys are ready-ish. Just trying to let the rest of it just go ahead and get all the grain out of it. But I'm fixing to have a whole bunch of broccoli seeds. And there's another volunteer, of course. All right, so my beets are finally getting a little something. They may be fixing to take off. And these are those orange ones that aren't quite as earthy. I can't remember what they're called. That'd be pretty good. See, fixing to have a bunch of cilantro seed. Same old stuff. Got some basil hiding down in there. I think the cilantro's kind of pretty. Seems like the bugs will be munching on this guy. And the parsley looks really similar, except for it's got a yellow color to their seeds. Waiting on it to die. I'm gonna let this stuff reseed itself right where it's at. Okay. Got a couple watermelon plants there. And they're growing pretty good. Another volunteer. Comfrey's kicking butt. I chopped it all the way down to the ground about a week and a half ago. It's all the way back up that big now. All right, and over here, I don't recall if it's Lunchbox or Carmen peppers, but that's what's there. And let me see here. And same thing there. I got some over here. So it's both varieties. I just don't remember which one's which. I'll have to wait to see. The fig's doing okay. The deal has outgrown the time, so I can't see it no more. Let's see what's going on. What's underneath there? Everything's laying over on itself. Oh, come on, baby. All right, so it's not much. To be honest with y'all, I don't like thyme that much. You know what I mean? I think it has a nice smell, kind of like rosemary. But I know a lot of people eat that kind of stuff on meat, steaks, and stuff. And I don't really care for it. I like some salt and pepper, and that'll do it. Anywho, but I like having it in the garden and access to it. And a healthy environment with different herbs and vegetables and stuff that I can harvest for myself if the day comes and I have to ever do it. Then I'm trying to get everything I need here. I'm also, right now, in my refrigerator in the house, I have some hyssop seeds that I started. And I'm excited about them. Some people call it the holy herb. You know, you can see reference to it in the Bible several times. But it's pretty cool. And you talk about attracting pollinators and stuff. That thing has got it's pretty. and it's functional. It's a good deal. So I'm gonna get it in here if I can grow it. We'll see. It takes like a month of cold stratification, so it's in the fridge right now for about 3 or 4 days. So we'll see what happens. When that stuff comes out, I'll let y'all know. Anywho, let me get done with this dadgum tour. So my sneezy's okay. Strawberries there, finally getting flowers. These hadn't been doing anything. You can tell they're kind of yellow. There's my trumpet vine. It's trying to reach heaven like the Tower of Babel. We know how that's going to work out. I'm going to play God and come in here and take it back down at the end of the year. But in the meantime, here's wisteria. He tries the same kind of thing. These two, this wisteria. See, I'm going to go slow here where it's not so crazy. And that trumpet vine, I think I'm going to try that air layering process on them and see if I can't put it all over my shed out there. I got a metal shed at a shop there at work, and I think it would look awesome if it just disappeared underneath all this vine. And let's see, I may do it. I'm really thinking about it. Gosh, I'm filthy. I can see it right now. Sorry, y'all. I ate dirt all day. Anyway, back to this. Let's see what else we got. Mama's rose bush. She needs to get in here and deadhead. She's been slacking off. Both of us are pretty run down right now. All right, the zooks, zooky dukes. We got some coming down there. Oh, get a different view. Well, it doesn't want to show you from this view, but there's 2 or 3 right there. And I've got 1, 2 starting on this one. Plenty of male flowers. And I got a little baby yellow squash. He's jealous when he looks across over here and he sees all that stuff happening. And another little yellow squash. They're all starting to fill out. And I don't know about you guys, how you grow yours, but I used to just let them sprawl out, and there's room for that, and it's gonna happen anyway. But I really like having the little round cages for the squash because it grows up off the ground. I wish I had about probably 6 foot tall cage for them to grow up, because they get tall, but they'll wind all the way around that thing and you can see your stuff up off the ground. I don't have issues with the vine borers like I do when they lay on the ground. So just something, my 2 cents when it comes to that kind of vertical trellising and stuff. All right, so you can see my okra is coming along out here. And now I've got my Market More cucumbers coming along too. They had to be reseeded. Okay guys, the last of the Mohicans here. You can tell I had to clean these up. I can't take it. My wife gets so mad at me over that, but I can't help it. I prune stuff, man. I'm a maintenance guy. I do yard work and stuff, and people are like, there's an issue over there, a problem, take care of it. I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna hack and I'm gonna whack and I'm gonna make it go away. So let me show you a little close up here. So we do have some starting little bunches here. A little bit easier to see on this stuff. And I did keep some suckers on some of these. I tried to. I just tied 2 or 3 suckers up together on some of them. There you are. So, I mean, I've got tomatoes. Just looks like there might be a whole lot more out at that dadgum secret garden. And it's nice to be able to afford that stuff out there to just grow wild like that. All right. Things coming along. Good clusters. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna be just fine over here. Doing just fine. All right. See, my corn over here's kind of coming up. It's way too thick in here, but you know what do I have to lose? Such a small little area here. I'm just making the most of it. And see, I said something about the Amish paste before. Here at the house, just isn't doing much. Of course, that one's getting soaked. I know they're not digging that. But this one isn't. And there's nothing. Every time it makes a flower, they fall off. So it's too hot out here. That's what's surprising me about that greenhouse out there, because it's south facing. It gets a lot of sun. And it's amazing to me that that stuff isn't getting hotter. But because it's a little lower down in the ground out there, it's like it's helping keep the coolness of the morning, and that fan blowing around is helping stuff do okay too. And the exhaust fan hasn't even hardly been coming on. And it's 100 almost right outside the door. You walk inside, it goes down to like 90. And that's with where my probe is, and my probe in that greenhouse out there, it's up high hanging down like this. So it's 90 up at the top. That means it's still pretty good down low. So anywho, that was a home update for May the 1st here at KC Jilly's place. And now I'm gonna go and get my dirty pig butt in the bath and wash off and get cleaned up so I can slave away on the stove like the good little woman that I am. So till next round, we'll see y'all later.